Hello, everybody. Welcome to Voices Big and Small. On this episode, we're going to be looking back at the long career of Canadian voice actor Trevor Devall. Without any further ado, let's get started. First off, of course, the background information. Trevor Devall, born November 10th, 1972, is a Canadian voice actor, and podcaster. He worked for Ocean Studios and various other studios in Vancouver, British Columbia for years before he relocated to Los Angeles, California in 2013. He is best known for voicing Hot Dog in Crypto the Superdog, Rocket Raccoon in the animated TV series Guardians of the Galaxy, um, Emperor Palpatine in Lego Star Wars, Pyro in X-Men Evolution, Dookie in seasons 5 and 6 of Johnny Test, um, Bert Burtonberger in Kit vs. Kat, and various characters in the Netflix original series F is for Family, as well as providing voices in English language versions of various anime series, most notably as Moola Flaga from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, Mukotsu from Inuyasha, Scourge from Transformers Cybertron, Mr. Chang from Black Lagoon, and Aizawa from Death Note. He also voiced um, Hermione on Stargate Atlantis and Ravis Nox Fleuret in the Final Fantasy 15 video game and Kingslave Final Fantasy 15 feature film. Other than that, he voiced Mars in Dota 2 video game. On camera, he played Sir Attica Moon in Big Time Movie. Between 2007 and 2013, Trevor hosted his own podcast, Voice Print, with Trevor Devall, and guests were where he interviewed fellow voice actors. And what I can tell you guys is he has a YouTube channel if you want to go check those out. Those episodes are on his YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, you can go ahead and do that. Early life. Trevor grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, and was the youngest of 5 siblings. He was into theater and did tap, jazz, and Polynesian dance as a child. He attended the University of Alberta for drama and directed stage productions as well as student films. Yeah, aside from his acting work, I know he's done some um, directing as well, from what I understand. Um, Trevor moved to Vancouver in 1998 to pursue a film directing career. While working for a talent agency, he made a demo tape for them and began landing work as a voice actor. Career. In March 2015, it was announced Trevor would be the voice of Rocket Raccoon in Marvel's animated Guardians of the Galaxy. Voice print. Since 2007, Devall produced his own podcast, Voice Print with Trevor Devall and guest, where he interviewed fellow Vancouver-based voice actors and answered questions from fans. Each episode featured a different voice actor as the episode guest, though some episodes featured other people in the voice acting business that that may not actually be voice actors themselves or behind the scenes looks at the life of a voice actor. Topics usually included how the guest made it into the voice acting business, what it is like working in the industry, and the general lifestyle of a voice actor. The series concluded its first season after 36 episodes in December 2013. The second season was announced in the final episode of season one as Trevor moves to Los Angeles, California to continue his career in the show. The only thing is here, guys, is as far as I know, he didn't get around to doing a second season. As I mentioned before, he um, he um, he has the shows on his YouTube channel. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, in fact, as I'm looking over the guest list here, one particular episode of note is episode 4. That's where he actually interviewed Vic Mignogna, Vic Mignogna, um, as a live interview from Animathon in Edmonton back in 2007. So that might be something interesting to check out. Um, yeah, you guys might want to check that out. Most, as I said, um, most of these are just from um, most of these are basically voice actors from the Vancouver area. Um, so, oh, he actually interviewed Kyle Bear as well. Episode 23 in September 2009, live interview at MatsuriCon in Columbus, Ohio. So, um, oh yeah, oh yeah. So, you guys can go check those out at some point if you'd like. So, anyways, as I mentioned, he had a very long and illustrious career. So, let's take a look at that long and illustrious career, shall we? Seeing what roles he's had over the years. He was first cast in 1993 as a voice of Espresso in VeggieTales. When I saw this, I was kind of amazed because one of the things I had noticed too is that the Ocean Studios dub cast was cast in the 2011 remake of Superbook, the old Christian Broadcasting Network series, Bible series. Um, but yeah, in 1993, he was cast as the voice of Espresso in VeggieTales. Then we move ahead to 1996. He was cast as um, Ioka in Maison Ikoku. He was cast in English voice of Ioka in Maison Ikoku. Um, he was basically Godai's boss in that. Hmm. Then, and as we move ahead to 2000, he was cast as the English voice of Shesta in The Vision of Esclafone. And as mentioned earlier, he was Pyro, aka John Allardyce, X-Men Evolution. He would reprise his role as Shesta in the Esclafone movie in 2002. Also in 2002, he was cast as Shiro Mibu in Soul Taker. And then he would be cast as Conrad Iwata in Hamtaro. Then in Mobile Suit Gundam Charged Counterattack, the 2002 movie, he was cast as Adonawar Haraya and Kaizatsu M. Bayer. And he had a number of roles in Inuyasha. He was cast as a number of characters in Inuyasha. He provided the English voices for Mukotsu, Ryo Genbu, Shima's father, and Shako. Also in 2002, he was cast in the anime Project Orange's English voice of Claw. And then he was cast as the English voice of Bob and Arjuna. Then in Melty Lancer, the animation, in 2003, he was cast as the English voices of The Informant, Defiant One, or Defiant I, and Federation Leader C. Then in Mega Man NT Warrior, he would be cast the English voice of Mr. Match, the fire, the basically the pyro Navi user among Doctor Wily's minions. In Master Keaton, he would provide the English voices of Franco and Tomats. And then in the movie Bionicle Mask of Light, the movie, he would be cast as Pohatu. And in Zoid's Fusers, all this still in 2003, of course, cast as the English voice of Rotten Roger. Also in 2003, he was cast in the video game Frogger's Adventures: The Rescue as the voices of Ranger Frog and Trip Boss. Then in the video game Mobile Suit Gundam Encounters in Space, he was cast as the English voice of Ortega. Then as we move into 2004, in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, he would be cast the English voice of Mula Flaga. Also in 2004, in Transformers Energon, he was cast the English voices of Alpha Q and Bruticus Maximus. Then in the Master Keaton OVA, he was cast in 2004. He was cast the English voice of Olaf Helamer. And in Nurse Witch Komugi, he was cast the English voice of Shiro Mibu. And in the movie G.I. Joe Valor vs. Venom, he was cast as the voice of Wild Weasel. Then he would be cast as the voice of Nuju in Bionicle 2 Legends of Metru Nui, the 2004 movie. And then in the Under the Skin video game in 2004, he was cast as part of the Walla group. Also in 2004, in Dragon Booster, he would provide the English voices for Mordred Payan, Captain Fair, Wolf, and Shadow Booster. Then in the CSI Miami video game in 2004, he would be cast as the voice of Donnie Bronson. Then in Mega Man NT Warrior Access in 2004, he would reprise his role as Mr. Match, as well as being cast as the English voices of Kisaki and Dr. Regal. And as we move into 2005, he would be cast as a few characters in Being Ian, including Craig, Nash, Brad, and the 80s station disc jockey. So Craig, Nash, Brad, and the 80s station disc jockey in Being Ian. Then also in 2005, he would be cast as the English voices of Gioro and Ernest Raviad in Star Ocean EX. And in Ys 6, the Ark of Napishtim video game, and Ys 6, the Ark of Napishtim video game, he would be cast in a number of roles here, including Dogai, Gase, Largo, Lloyd, and Admiral Argarus. Also in 2005, he'd be cast as Hot Dog in Crypto the Superdog. Then in the 2005 movie Ark, he would be cast as Barramanda. Then also in 2005 in Transformers Cybertron, he'd be cast as the English voices of Megatron and Scourge. Then in 2005, he would be cast in the Cartoon Network's Johnny Test as Dookie the dog and Mr. Henry Teacherman. Then in Frogger Ancient Shadow video game, he'd be cast as Dr. Wani and Mohan. And then in the Bionicle Shadow Play short, he'd be cast as Rudaka's companion. He reprised his role as Nuju. Also be cast as in the role of Kualas as well. He would once again reprise his role as Niju, as well as being cast as the voice of Iruimi in Bionicle 3 Web of Shadows movie. And also in 2005, he'd be cast as a number of voices in Clash of the Titans, including Hades, Apollo, Minos, Thanatos, and Adonis. All the Hades, Apollo, Minos, Thanatos, Adonis in Clash of the Titans was him. Then, as we move ahead to 2006, in Oban Star Raiders, he was cast as the English voice of Ondai. Also in 2006, he would be cast as the English voice of Gladius. Then, in the Powerpuff Girls Z anime, he cast as the English voices of Principal, Musou Tezukazu, cartoonist, and Frog Prince, Prince Ribbit. And then in Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes, he'd be cast as Diablo. In Shakugan no Shana, he'd be cast as the English voices of Marcosius and Friagni. Interesting thing about Shakugan no Shana, the first season was dubbed. I think the first and second seasons were dubbed by Ocean, and then the season 3 I know was dubbed by Funimation. So and Tom and Jerry Tales, he would be cast as the voices of the radio announcer Thomas Jefferson and El Presidente. And then in the 2006 Shakugan no Shana short, he would reprise his role as Friagne and Marcosius. Then, as we move into 2007, in Black Lagoon, he would be cast as English voices of Bai Jishin Chang, Legart, and NGO worker. Then, in the 2007 movie Tom and Jerry: A Nutcracker Tale, he'd be cast as the lackey. Then, in Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, The Laughing Man, I think this was the Ocean Studios dub, which was a later dub. He would be cast as the English voice of Togusa, taking over the role from Crispin Freeman from the LA dub. But this is a later dub that was done by Ocean. And then in the 2007 computer animated movie The Ten Commandments, he would be cast as Amran, voice of Amran. Also in 2007, in Death Note, he would be cast as the English voices of Shuichi Aizawa and Shingo Mito. Then in Black Lagoon, The Second Barrage, he would reprise his role as Bai Jishin Chang, as well as being cast as the English voices of Yoshida and Inoue. And then in the In the Ocean Studios dub of Ghost in the Shell standalone second gig, the individual 11, he would reprise his role as Togusa in the Ocean Studios dub. As I understand, there are two different dubs. Ocean Studios did a dub later in the 2000s. Earlier dub was done down here in LA. So, then as we move ahead to 2008, in Bratz Girls Really Rock movie, he was cast as the voice of Elton. Also in 2008, At Jesus' Side animated movie, he was cast as Temple Guard leader. Now this is pretty amazing here. I've noticed a few more, some of these biblical movies that are coming out in the 2000s here, the Ocean Studios. I mean, I knew of at least one, but apparently there are a few of them that they were involved in. So that's kind of interesting. Then in Bratz Kids Fairy Tale movie, he was cast as the voices of Wolf and Mirror. In the Sword of the Stranger animated movie, he was casting the voice of Isogai. In Silent Mobius, the motion picture, he was cast as an English voice of the newscaster. And in Kit vs. Kat, he was cast as Bert Burtenberger. And in Silent Mobius 2, the motion picture, he would be cast as Monster Beta Robert Device and the airport attendant. The English voices of the three there, based on the Silent Mobius anime. Then in Mobile Suit Gundam 00, he would be casting English voices of Howard Mason, Patrick Colasaur, and Eddie Miyasaka. Then he would reprise his role as Dookie the dog in Cartoon Network Universe Fusion Fall video game in 2009. We're now into 2009. Then in Death Note Relight Visions of a God, he would reprise his roles as Shuichi Aizawa and Shingo Mito. And in Dinosaur Train, he would be cast as the voices of Mr. Daenikis, Boris Tyrannosaurus, and Bucky Masakasaurus. In Playmobil, The Secret of Pirate Island movie, he was cast as the voices of Gaptooth and Woody. And in the 2009 League of Legends video game, he was cast as the voice of Jace. In Death Note Relight 2 El Successors, he would reprise his role as Shuichi Aizawa. Then in Astonishing X-Men, he'd be cast as the English voice of Colossus. He played Pyro in one X-Men adaptation. Colossus is in another. Interesting. Then in 2010, he'd be cast as a number of voices in Zeke's Pad. Now, some of these I believe are cartoons that they have more up in Canada. Some of them I know, like D&E and Johnny Test, I know did show up on Cartoon Network, but I think most of them were produced up in Canada around this time. So, among those he was cast among the voices he provided for in Zeke's Pad in 2010 included Ike, Alvin, R.J. Sloan, Stanley Steele, Newsreader, Sketch, Peter, Calvin, Izzy, and Bouncer. So, with all the voices he provided. And in Hero 108, he was cast as the voices of Spotter and Nane. And also in 2010, in Dream Kicks TV show, he was cast as the voices of Sean, Rabbit Anchor, Pondalet, Rabbit auditioning for Pete's commercial, and Maurice. And this one seems like kind of Dream Kicks seems like kind of a computer animated series. Um, then in regular show, he would be cast as the voices of DVD and Streambot Box Number One, and as with many of the Ocean Studios cast, he was also involved with My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic for all you bronies out there. And among the voices he did for My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic include Thunderlane, Iron Will, Fancy Pants, Fedora wearing Clover Pony, Hoity Toity, Luggage Cart, Hayseed Turnip Truck, um, Golden Gavel, Mr. Zippy, Instructional Film Announcer, Fluffy Fluffy Clouds. Okay. Then as we move ahead to 2011, um, in the Legend Ninjago Masters of Spin Jutsu short, was cast as the voice of Crazy. And in Trinity Souls of Zil O Il video game, he was cast as the voice of Orpheus. Yeah, and then this is one of the other series I was talking about. The 2011 adaptation of Superbook, which was originally a Christian Broadcasting Network production back in the early 80s. Well, somebody I don't know who exactly it was, but they did a remake of it here in 2011, and he was cast as a number of voices in it, including um, Maritanis or Marianus, Marianus, Eliab, Jesse, Jodas, Vendor, Joshua, Captain of the Guard, Older Brother, Pharisee 2, Aaron's Dad, Hatach, King Xerxes, Young Servant, Mourners and Followers, and Pilate. Try saying all those names. Try saying all those names 3 times fast. Also, in the 2011 short Underworld Endless War, he would be cast as the voices of Darius, Craven, and Lord Clovis. And in Kurozuka anime, he would be cast the English voices of Karjuta and Man clad all in black. We're up to 2012 now. In the Ultimate Spider-Man 2012 animated series, I guess he would reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon from an earlier series. And in Action Dad, he was cast as a number of voices, including Red Scarf, Nunchuck, Dr. Pincushion, Brick-Brack, Mick's Belt Buckle, Rocky, Bomb, Scud, the Young Red Scarf, the Young Nunchuck, See and Say, Cop number 2. And in Slugterra, he would be cast as the voices of King of Sting, Vance Volt, the Gentleman, and Walter. And in Animism, The God's Lake. So now we're into 2013. Um, in Animism, The God's Lake, he would be cast as Stevens and a Nazi biker. Then in also in 2013, in Sophia the First, he was cast as the voices of Gunk and Sir Henley. In the Escape from Planet Earth animated movie, he'd be cast as the Hazmats. Was it the Hazmat? And in Barbie in the Pink Shoes movie, he'd be cast as Prince Albrecht and Ballet Scout #1. And it looks like a computer animated series there. And in Lego Star Wars, the Yoda Chronicles mini movies, they're all shorts. He'd be cast as the voices of Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, Cad Bane, Jar Jar Binks, Danger, Stormtrooper 3, Clone Trooper. And he would have another bunch of voices in the 2013 version of Max Steel. In the 2013 Max Steel, he would provide the voices for the Metal Elementor, Jim McGrath, Ty Dimples, Black Star Counselor, Megalink, News Anchor, Ultralink Trainee #2. And in Teen Titans Go, he would provide the voices for Old Man, Spy Villain, Whimsy Starfire, and Whimsy Beast Boy. And also in 2013, in Inhumans, he would provide the voices for Stalyenko, Alpha 1, Namor the Submariner, and Rexel Toven. And in the Lego Wars, the Yoda Chronicles TV series, he would reprise a number of his roles from the earlier shorts and movies, including Darth Sidious, Chancellor Palpatine, Jar Jar Binks, as well as taking on the new roles of Admiral Akbar, Bib Fortuna, Admiral Piet, Tion Medon, Salacious Crumb, and Royal Guard. And in Avengers Assemble, he would again reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon, as well as providing the voices of Claw, Ares, Villager 3, Guardsman 1, Grizzly, Atlantean Raider 1, and there were a couple times when he was just an Atlantean soldier. Then in Black Lagoon, Roberta's Blood Trail in 2013, he reprised his role as Bai Ji Shin Chang. And in the TV show, TV show Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk, he cast as Steve Rogers as well as a Shield agent and George. And Wolverine in 2014, in Wolverine vs. Sabretooth, he'd be cast as Sasquatch. He reprised his role as Steve Rogers, Captain America, as well as being Professor Thornton and Cyclops Scott Summers. And in the TV show Breadwinners, he would be cast as Trash Bandit, Super Duck, Onski's father, and Captain Scurvybeak. And in Slugterra, Ghoul from Beyond movie, he would reprise his role as the King of Sting. Also in 2014, in Trip Tank, he would be cast as the voices of Billy, John, and Edmund. In the 2014 version of the Tom and Jerry Show, he would be cast in a number of different roles, and support roles, including shop owner, delivery man, stinker, Toodle's dad, clerk. The clerk from this Tom and Jerry show looks kind of like Scooby Doo, maybe a slightly slimmer version of Scooby Doo or more fit. But anyways, Donnie and Gerald. In Wolverine Weapon X in 2014, he would be cast as the English. He would be cast as the voice of the Bucky Barnes version of Captain America, as well as Nightcrawler Kurt Wagner. He would reprise his role as Cyclops Scott Summers. He would also voice Luke Cage, David Helmerdinger, and Guard Number 2. And in Eternals, he would provide the voices for Icarus, uh, Prakrish, Jarvis, J dot A dot R dot V dot I dot S dot Kra, Zan, and Tantrum. His Eternals is another Marvel-based show. And in Star Wars Rebels, he would provide the voice of Hobby. In Doctor Dimension Pants, he would provide the voice of the evil wizard Murphy. In Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas, this is all in 2014, of course. He would provide the voice of Wilson the Cockatoo. And as we get into 2015, in Miles from Tomorrowland, he would provide the voice of Galaxel. And then in the 2015 version of Transformers Robots in Disguise, he would provide the voices of Hermit and Patrolman Number 2. And then in the Moon Guardian of the Moon movie, he would provide the voices of Sahone and Zucchini. And in the Max Steel, the Dawn of Morphus movie, he would reprise his role as Jim McGrath. In the 2015 Batman vs. Robin, he would provide the voice of Jack. In Max Steel, The Wrath of Makino, he would reprise his role as Jim McGrath as well as the Metal Elementor. In Lego Star Wars Droid Tales, he would reprise a number of roles as well as having. So among the roles he would reprise would include Darth Sidious, Chancellor Palpatine, Admiral Akbar, Tlon Midon, Jar Jar Binks, and Bib Fortuna. And then among the newer roles that he would take on would include Boba Fett, Jango Fett, Garbage Droids, Battle Droids, Nien Nunb, Scout Trooper 2, AT-ST Pilot, and that was it for that. And then in the Galaxy of Guardians of the Galaxy Origin short, he would reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon as well as being the voice of the arena announcer. And in the movie Justice League Gods and Monsters, he would provide the voice of Emil Hamilton, Project Cadmus fame. In the Max Steel Maximum Morphos movie, he would reprise his roles as Jim McGrath and Metal Elementor, as well as being Police Number 1. In Dino Trucks, 2015, he would provide the voices for Scrap It, Garvey, Lloyd, Scoot, and Cranosaur #1. 3 times he provided, I guess, here's another show that you seem to have a lot of. In the 2015 Guardians of the Galaxy TV show, he would provide the voice. He would reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon, as well as providing the voices of Fandral, Grand Commissioner, Welcome Announcer, Village Elder, Automated Voice 1, Chitari Guard, Ranger, Black Bolt, Spartak Soldier #1, Elric, Imperial Guard, Rocco, Jarhead, Sakaran Sentry #2, Foe Gamora, Ravager, Ghost of Christmas Past. 4 times, I guess, he was provided automated voice. Arakeen, Red Scarf, Empathetic, Zombies, Gate Operator, Kintar, Rocket Raccoon, Carl, Sentry Commander, Sentry Leader, Patron #1, Automated Jail Cell Voice, Automated Game Voice, Nova Core Operator, Shiny Pilot, Nova's Announcer, card #1, Ship's Automated Voice, Nova Corpsman #2, and Alien Father. So he did a lot of voices for the 2015 Guardians of the Galaxy series. Then in the movie Marvel Superhero Adventures Frostflight, he would, of course, reprise his roles as Rocket Raccoon and Jarvis, as well as landing the role of Malitri. In The Deep, he would provide the voices of Devil Daniels and Fisherman #2. In the series F is for Family, he would provide the voices of Mr. Holzenwasser, Mr. Goomer, Red the Baggage Handler, Bolo, Greg, Bing Crosby TV announcer, game show announcer, cement worker, Raymond, Trentel, Irish cop, and Carnival ring toss employee. And as we head into 2016, in the Lego Star Wars The Resistance Rises TV show, he would reprise his role as Admiral Akbar. As we continue on here, also in 2016, in Max Steel Team Turbo movie, he would reprise his roles as the Metal Elementor and Jim McGrath. In an open season Scared Silly movie, he would be cast as the voice roles of Shaw and Shaw, Werewolf, and Deputy #2. As we continue, he had a number of roles in The Loud House, including Carnival Manager, Carnival Worker, Teen Carney, Basketball Referee, Prisoner, Bulldozer Driver, News Crew Member, Obnoxious Guy, and Fast Food Waiter. Basically a bunch of supporting roles. And then in the Voltron Legendary Defender TV show in 2016, he would be cast the voices of Antok and Keith Stad. And in Lego Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures in the 2016 show, he would, of course, reprise his role as a few well, let's see. He would reprise his roles as Emperor Palpatine, and Admiral Akbar. Um, he would also be cast as the voices of Wedge Antilles, RA-7 Droid, Super Droid 2, number 2, Stormtrooper number 3, 3 times in which he was cast as Stormtrooper number 2, um, the TIE fighter pilot, X-Wing pilot number 3, Rod Race Driver, Pirate number 1, Gungan, and Citizen. And in the Kingslave Final Fantasy 15 movie, he would be cast as Ravis Nox Floret. He would reprise that role in Final Fantasy 15 video game as well. In Justice League Action, he would provide the English voices of Kane and Jonah Hex. And then as we move ahead to 2017, and Jeff and Some Aliens, he would provide the voice of the Anchor. In Hanazuki Full of Treasures, he would provide the English voice for Basil Ganglia. And in the movie The Jetsons and WWE Robo WrestleMania, he would provide the voice of Elroy Jetson. In Batman and Harley Quinn, he would provide the voice of Bobby Leibowitz. And in the 2017 Spider-Man TV show, he would provide the voices of Blizzard Macklin, Cop number 1 on a couple of occasions, Jewelry Store Clerk, Paladin, and Construction Worker number 2. In Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite video game, he would, of course, reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon, the English voice of Rocket Raccoon, as well as reprising that role for Lego Marvel Superheroes Guardians of the Galaxy, the Thanos threat. In Suicide Squad Hell to Pay movie in 2018, he would provide the voice of Punch. In Lego Marvel Superheroes Black Panther Trouble in Wakanda, he would reprise his role as Ulysses Claw. Also in 2018, in the Epic Tales of Captain Underpants, he would provide the voice of Smartsy Fartsy. Oh god, Smartsy Fartsy. Okay. In the movie The Death of Superman 2018, he would provide the voices of Dabney Donovan and Bruno Mannheim. In Marvel Powers United VR video game, he would reprise his role as Rocket Raccoon, as well as providing the voice of Kree Soldier. In Lego DC Comics superheroes Aquaman Rage of Atlantis movie, he would provide the voice of Ocean Master. In Saint Seiya The Lost Canvas, he would provide the English voice of Griffin Minos. In Last Hope, he would provide the voice of Hao Wang. In Lego Star Wars All-Stars, he would reprise his role as Admiral Akbar, as well as Stormtrooper number 3, as well as providing the voices for Imperial Officer number 2, Conch Droid, and Beachcomber Alien. In the 2019 Carmen Sandiego TV show, he would cast as the voice of Roundabout. In the Reign of the Superman animated movie, he would reprise his role as the English voice of Dabney Donovan, as well as providing the English voice of G. Gordon Godfrey. In Cannon Busters, he would provide the voices of Quizmaster, Fetter, and Batty. In the Gears 5 video game, he would provide the voice of Leslie McAllister. And then as we now move into this year, 2020, in Thundercats Roar, he provides the voice of Slythe. From what I'm seeing here, Thundercats Roar seems like a chibi version of the Thundercats cartoon. So in Marvel Future Avengers, he would be cast as Loki, and in Final Fantasy VIII Remake video game, he would provide the voice of Andrea Rodea. So that pretty much covers all of that. Um, that pretty much covers all of his credits, all the way up to modern times. I know this is run long, so I'll try to get through the last parts of it here quickly. If you guys want to contact me directly, my Discord handle is in the links. You can always direct message me. You can check out the Discord and join if you'd like. I'm also, of course, promoting a bunch of different dub companies. You guys might want to check all that out. Check out all the works that are out there. I'm promoting, of course, still promoting Vic's GoFundMe as well as that Umbrella Guy and his daughter's comic book stuff on Indiegogo. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If you have the means and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you guys have already donated, please consider donating again. And if you cannot donate, you can at least still help out the cause by sharing the link. Sharing is caring. You never know. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends may want to help out. You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask. Um, Also, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys as long as it's civil and respectful. And also, I hope to catch you all at the premiere on Friday when this thing premieres. And hopefully, I'll catch you then. And if not, I'll see you on Monday. Bye.